What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about death by subscriptions. Now, I'm sure everybody watching this has some sort of subscription, whether it's Netflix, Amazon, maybe you're part of a t-shirt club where they send you a shirt every month, a wine club, you order your dog food. Subscriptions have pretty much taken over the industry, and now they're jumping into the automotive sector. Now, during the pandemic, subscriptions basically took over the market, and it got so ridiculous that there's actually applications out there to help you manage all of your subscriptions and how to cancel them. And so I decided to add up mine. My subscriptions every month are about $1,600. Now, before you freak out, a small portion of those are just for my personal entertainment. The rest is my YouTube stuff for editing software, music, things like that. Also for my dealership, I use a lot of software to run vehicle reports, to track vehicle pricing, all this other stuff. That's about $800 worth of it. So that's what I'm spending every single month. It's a very lucrative model. Now, back in the day, a lot of the softwares that I used, I could purchase them either once a year or I could just buy the software outright and I'm good to go for pretty much forever. But businesses realize that it's much easier to just basically charge somebody a monthly subscription and they never own it, but you giving them the illusion that you're constantly getting the latest, greatest thing every single month. And unfortunately, that's where the trick lies. And that's why the automotive industry is jumping into it. Now, about 2 years ago, BMW actually put out a car where it was equipped with heated seats, but you were not allowed to use those unless you paid a monthly subscription. Now, this set the automotive world on fire as well as social media. People were absolutely outraged. Why are you going to pay $80,000 for a BMW just to pay $10 on top of that every single month to pay a continuous fee? So engineers and people out there actually figured out ways to solder in a module so you didn't have to pay the subscription, and they were selling all over the internet, which was pretty hilarious. But unfortunately, BMW cracked Pandora's box and opened up this nightmare that we're about to see. Now, believe it or not, manufacturers did try to get you on a monthly subscription years ago, but it absolutely failed. Now, traditionally, if you wanted to upgrade your navigation or entertainment system, you had to go in every single month to purchase like a CD or something like that with the latest navigation. Sometimes those can be $300, $400. Or you physically had to go down to a dealership and pay $250 for a software update where they give you the most latest audio fixtures or update your map manually. And this was something that regular cars had to do pretty often. And some people actually never updated their map. If you see a lot of older cars, the navigation roads are still there from whatever year it was made, which is pretty hilarious. So they decided to do something about it. So most of the manufacturers, I believe from 2011 to 2018, started integrating hotspots. Because as you guys know, the internet was blowing up, people were getting really popular with it. So they said, you know what, we're gonna put hotspots in every single car. And the reason I wanted to do that is so this way they can update your car automatically through there of whatever you're gonna subscribe to. So originally they were like, well, instead of us charging a big $300 CD fee, let's charge them maybe $5 a month and we'll update the maps and we'll update the audio system, whatever else. Now that was a great plan in the beginning, but unfortunately it failed because at that time, that was the rise of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So many people would rather use their cell phones to connect to their actual navigation than use their maps. And even on top of that, there was applications like Waze and I think it was Road Ninja and a few other ones that were much better at actually updating the roads than even the apps on the actual phone. So people didn't use those. So the major manufacturers said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and backpedal this. And you could start to see a lot of the hotspots in the cars started magically disappearing because, you know, they didn't need them. But now that BMW cracked that Pandora's box, they figured, let's go ahead and revisit this again. And in 2025, get ready for this, GM is actually eliminating Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And the reasons behind this is they say they're doing this because of safety reasons, because they don't want you to be playing on your phone while you're driving. But the reason why Apple CarPlay and I believe Android Auto was actually made and why they're so popular is because it lets you be hands-free. You don't have to, mess with your phone while you're dialing. You can literally call Bob. Your phone's connected to your system, calls Bob. You can talk on the phone. You can say, play the next song. You have all your other softwares that you use or applications to make your experience of driving better and more carefree. Now, I know exactly what GM is going to try to do, and you can literally mark this verbatim, save this down, and look at it in 2 years from now. They're going to charge people a monthly subscription to get a hotspot. Watch. And then on top of that, they're going to charge you for applications because you can't download them on your phone anymore. They want you to download them on their apps. So it may be another $1.99 to get Spotify on there. Maybe you want to add YouTube Music, something else. They're going to charge you for every single application on their platform. And that's what they see all this money moving forward. Because remember, if they sell millions of cars every year, they just sell it once. But imagine if they got $10 a month from everybody that bought a new car. And you know how many cars are rolling out there on the road. It gets very, very big very, very quickly. And so they realize the future is in actual subscriptions. Now, I'm sure if this happens and there's a big outroar and everybody loses their mind, they're going to have an answer for this, but it's still going to require a subscription. They're going to actually make you pay a monthly subscription to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to be on your vehicle. Mark my words. And I think this is the beginning of the end when it comes to basically free entertainment on your car, because the majority of us don't listen to the radios anymore. Most of our radio stations are garbage. They play nothing but commercials and the same 5 songs over and over and over again. And that's why we tend to use our cell phone so much with Spotify, with YouTube, or even your personal mix that you downloaded off of your computer. That is what basically driving around a car is today. I have satellite radio. I haven't turned on my local radio station here in Las Vegas in probably 3 years. Actually, no, probably longer, because it was about a year before the pandemic. Because it's just, like I said, it's the same 5 songs playing over and over again. But this is the future of where it's going on. Now, just imagine if you go out and you buy, let's say, a brand new Mercedes. It's got navigation, backup cameras everywhere. It's got speed control, cruise control. It's got all these fancy features, night vision, heated mirrors, massaging seats. But every time you bought this car that was fully optioned with all these features, you had to pay a $5 subscription every single month for each one of these features to add on to. I believe that this is the way they're going to go, which I think is absolutely stupid, because they're trying to figure out where they're not going to make money, especially with these EVs that are coming out. If you watch the news and reports, all these EVs cost way too much money to manufacture. They're losing money. Now, the goal is that hopefully if they keep making these, the technology will get cheaper like cell phones. But in the auto industry, it's still going to move very, very slowly, and it's going to be very cost heavy. So I think they're trying to outrun this by adding some sort of additional moneymaker in their business model. And I believe that they think that subscriptions are the next way to basically tax millions of Americans, and not only Americans, but millions of people all across the world to get that extra money. Because like I said, why sell a car once when basically they can do, what is it, death by 1,000 cuts? They could charge you for $5 for this, $5 for that, which doesn't seem like much, but next thing you know, just to use your car with its basic features could cost you $50 a month. And that's how crazy it's gonna get. Now, everything these guys are doing are literally putting more pressure on the average American. They can't spend this type of money. Like I said, it's getting so ridiculous to this point where I don't see how they can keep increasing the price of cars, charging more subscriptions. Obviously, insurance is absolutely astronomical, and all these other things. On top of that, I didn't even think about resale. Can you imagine, like, hey, I got this car. It's got navigation, heated seats, a sunroof. Oh, did you buy the monthly subscription for that? No, I didn't. So if you want to use all these, to use half the features on the car, it's going to cost you additional, whatever, $50 to $100 a month. It's just stupid. I never thought I'd have to make a video about this, but part of NADA and some of the automotive news things that I read on every single day, they're always talking about the latest trending things. And I've noticed that like Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, Kia, they're all talking about adding some sort of subscription model in there. So this way they can actually charge more money for these cars. But then also another scary thing that I saw that actually Tesla was talking about, as well as some of these other EV manufacturers, were getting some sort of subscription model to actually buy a car. Like you would never truly own the car. You would pay a monthly subscription fee to basically drive this car around. And if you had any problems, you take it back to the dealership, but you would never own it. Now, a lot of people would say that's great. That's like a lease that never ends. But I think it's pretty much the wrong way, because what is that saying? You'll own nothing and be happy about it. That's where I feel this trend is going. Because you can imagine that, like you buy a car, you don't even own it, you're paying a monthly subscription fee, the car is just a complete piece of junk, but it doesn't matter. You have a 3-year, 4-year contract, you're just gonna have to keep paying that monthly due. So it's getting very scary out there, but I'd love to know your opinions on the subscription model. Do you think it's hilarious? Do you think it's a nightmare? What are some of the subscriptions that you guys are currently paying now that are ridiculous? My most expensive subscription is $400 a month It's a software that basically helps me track vehicle prices and vehicle value. It's something that I use a lot, so at least I can make money out of it. But I know some people that are paying $100, $200 a month for like a clothing subscription. So they get new sweaters, new hoodies, new t-shirts every single month. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys are actually subscribed to, how much you're spending. And if you have any other feedback, please put it down there. And just remember, the whole point of this channel is to be transparent about the automotive industry. And even if your opinion is different from mine, that's okay. We can still be friends. But put in the comment section below if you disagree with anything or if you have a different look at something, because I always appreciate your guys' feedback. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you learned anything, or if this video just pissed you off knowing that everything's gonna go to subscriptions. Once again, follow me on Instagram at Lucky Lopez, and we'll see you next video.